What's up, YouTube fam? I see I touched a lot of nerves when I talk about generations and baby boomers and shit like that. And I'll admit, like, I'm not the most knowledgeable about this shit. I'm not a fucking expert. I'm not a fucking history teacher. Of course, this is shit that you would never learn in history class. But to the Gen X people, I see a lot of people are mad because they're like, why are you throwing us in the same category as the boomers? Or you know, Gen X was a great generation and this and that. I'm not saying either one of those statements are correct or not correct. Well, incorrect would be the correct way to say it. But to the ones that say these things, you know, like, I understand, y'all, there's always exceptions. You know, the exceptions don't make up the majority, though. You know, I'm not saying all baby boomers didn't have to struggle. That's not what I'm saying. A lot of them did. A lot of Gen X did too. The reason I don't mention Gen X much is because there's a very thin line between Gen X and millennials. Gen X people, you know, it's just the time frames from when they were born were not too far apart from millennials and the baby boomers. So they either had a similar baby boomer experience or they had a similar millennial experience. I mean, they're a very unique generation just because of, you know, the time frame that they come. But, you know, y'all, this is not, it's not a significant, I hate to say this, no offense, but like, it's not a significant generation to bring up. It's not like they made any real big breakthroughs or anything like that caused any global changes to where they have to be acknowledged like that. I think that's probably why they call them that. But with that being said, I want to go ahead and get into the point of this video. You're either rich or you're poor. You know, I just cut somebody off. You're either rich or you're poor. There is no gray area. Again, like I said, you know, being rich, one person's rich could be another person's poor. Like, if I had $200,000 in my bank account, I would feel rich. If Bill Gates had $200,000 in his bank account, he would feel poor. You see what I'm saying? So some people's got different standards on what they determine as being rich. Some people, they got 50,000 in their mind, they're rich. Some people ain't rich till they touch $1 million. That's how I feel. You gotta have at least, not 6 figures. You gotta have at least 7 figures to be considered rich. Again, being rich is an idea. You know, you can have millions of dollars and then you can fucking blow it, or something could happen and you lose all your money. Wealth is really the goal, but it's kind of the same thing. You know, of course, Chris Rock will say different. But in this day and age, you know, with the cost of living and all this shit, it's like, if you don't have an abundant, like, if you can't go travel and just do the things that you want to do whenever the fuck you want to do it, then you're fucking poor. I know a lot of people's going to say, well, what about middle class? Middle class, the middle class is becoming the lower class. The lower class is really basically the fucking homeless and the people that live in the super dirty ass projects. You know, the people that's above middle class, they may not consider themselves rich. But to a person that, like, lives in poverty, those people are fucking rich. So you got all this money being thrown around. You got all these fucking celebrities, all these you know, you got big time YouTubers who making like millions and shit like that. And then why, you know, your average 9-to-5 worker is barely getting by, man. I know y'all gonna disagree. A lot of people's gonna disagree with this video right here, but I don't give a fuck. This is my own. Sometimes this is me making testimonies towards myself, because these are things I got to remind myself. I said, dude, you're poor. You're not rich yet. Listen, bro, Molly, you're not rich yet. You're poor. Every day I got to remind myself I'm poor. And not to break myself or to beat myself down, but it's to remind myself that I have a goal. My goal is to get rich. It's not an option. I have to get rich or I'm going to die trying. Like 50 Cent, yo. Straight the fuck up. I'm tired of being poor. I've been poor all my life. Why do I say I'm poor? I can't eat the foods that I want to eat. I can't go travel and do things I want to do. I can't take a week off work and just go on fucking vacation and chill and just relax my mind. I can't just go to Jamaica and go to the Nyabingi and sit and fucking meditate over there at Dunn's River Falls and just clear my fucking mind. I don't have time to do that. I'm still a slave to the clock. I gotta be at work at this time. I gotta clock out at this time. I gotta do overtime on Saturday. And you see what I'm saying? I'm still a slave to the clock. So I'm not rich yet. In my mind, I'm poor. I'm gonna tell myself now, to most people, I probably wouldn't be considered poor. Yes, I got food. I'm able to eat groceries. I'm able to buy clothes. I'm able to buy a car. I'm able to have gas in my... I'm grateful. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm grateful, because I understand a lot of people going through a lot worse. But fuck that. I want more out of life. So I'm gonna tell myself that I'm poor because it reminds me that I'm not rich. And I advise most people to do that. A lot of people out there are like, well, I'm grateful for what I got, and which is good, because I am too. Be grateful for what you got. Some people just simply don't want more out of life. I'm one of those people who want more out of life. You should be able to travel and do the things, and eat the food that you want to eat. I talk about health and shit a lot on this channel. If you want to eat like healthy food, man, that shit costs money. When's the last time you been to a fucking health food store? Or been to a farmer's market, man? Even the farmer's markets are starting to cost. Because it costs money to get real fresh produce. While going to Kroger's or going to one of these grocery stores like Walmart or something and getting a whole bunch of fucking GMO, genetically modified, genetically engineered food that was grown from a fucking laboratory. This is bad, really bad for your health. So in order to not eat those kind of foods, you got to have a little money so you can buy the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Just shit like that, In order to have a good car, you got to have money. You're going to keep buying raggedy ass cars, or you're going to keep making these ridiculous payments and breaking yourself every fucking week and every month just to be able to drive a decent car. If you're not rich, you're poor. Bottom line. There's no middle ground. There's no gray area. There's no in between. If you're not rich, you're fucking poor. So y'all stop being poor. The goal is to get rich. Y'all should be doing everything in y'all power to get rich. I'm not saying go and commit crime. I mean, you can take that route. That's the way. Listen, I know people who sold drugs and got rich. Shit, Jay-Z was a drug dealer. It's no secret. This ain't no dry snitching, all that shit, man. I respect the street codes, to an extent. But no, I'm not dry snitching. Jay-Z admitted that he sold drugs. 50 Cent used to sell drugs. But they took that drug money and they invested in something legit. Now they're doing something legit with their lives. Even though they do a lot of corrupt shit still, and they corrupt the minds of the youth. So that may not have been a good example. But the point was that they're making money not doing anything against the law. Now, y'all know the law doesn't equal morality. Certain things that are against the law shouldn't be against the law. And then there's some things that you're allowed to do that should be outlawed. So don't think I'm out here fucking policing like, the law, you have to obey the law. You just got to suck the law's dick. No, I'm not telling y'all that. I'm just saying, don't do nothing stupid. Don't do something that's going to have you fucked up. I don't want nobody to come back and be like, damn, Molly, you told me to sell drugs. You told me to rob a bank. You told me to start pimping bitches or what. No, I'm not telling y'all to do none of those things. I'm just saying, but you got to do something. You got to make money. If you're going to do something against the law, be very, very careful. Because you get caught, it can fuck up your whole plan. Now you got to do time in jail, worse, maybe some time in prison. Now you got to wait longer because nobody gets rich in prison. I give a fuck what they say. I don't know, nobody's ever got rich in prison unless they was a big time drug kingpin and they had other people working for them. But you don't have the freedom to go do what you want. You can't buy your way out that motherfucker. Obviously, nobody's rich in prison, bro. I give a fuck what they say. So don't go to prison. Don't do nothing illegal. But do not settle for a regular mediocre ass life. You know you are destined for greatness. You know that there's greatness out there waiting for you. You got to go out there and you got to be great. You got to fight, man. You got to really fight against the grain, because the grain, the system's designed to keep you poor. It wants you to not have money. They don't want you to save money. They don't want you to work and stack up a couple $1,000. No, they don't want you to do that. They want you to spend every fucking paycheck just so you can have enough energy to go to work, make more money so you can go spend it again. What kind of fucked up cycle is that? You want to get out of that cycle. You want to live a life of financial abundance. I want y'all to write that down or plug it in your mind, put it in your little notes, whatever. You want to live a life of financial abundance. Financial abundance. Most of us live in financial scarcity. What is financial abundance? That's when you're not worried about losing money because you have so much, or you just know how to access money so well that you're not worried. Money's the last thing that's on your mind. Your body and your health and your mind, your mental health should be the main key factors. But most of us never have a chance to work on those things or even acknowledge what might be mentally wrong with us because we spend our whole fucking lives chasing a fucking check that never even comes our way, man. A lot of us are working very hard and barely getting by. Now, I said before, a lot of people just have bad habits, things like that. Follow the 3-step plan, you cannot fucking lose. I'm telling you, you cannot lose. But y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. I gotta go in the store and take care of some shit. I hope I made sense on this one. I kind of babbled a little bit, but the main point, I just wanted to really put in y'all's mind. I want y'all to think. I know everybody's not gonna agree and think like me, but my advice, or I would like to invite you to think this way, as Elliot Host will say. I want to invite you to think in your mind that you have to be rich or else you will remain poor. That doesn't mean you got to have billions of dollars and shit like that. I mean, but you know that you don't have enough money. You know that. Most of the people watching this channel are struggling really bad. To the ones that's not, kudos, more power to you, man. Maybe you can get on here and maybe teach my audience a couple things. I don't know. But most of us are not rich. Most of us would like to get rich. Some people don't want to admit that, but I admit it. I want to be rich. I don't want to be poor. So I'm going to do what I got to do to get rich. I'm not going to hurt nobody. I'm not going to commit any crimes or break any laws. But I'm going to fight and work my ass off to get to where I want to be. And I want to invite you guys to do the same. Okay? Everybody have a good day. Go out there and get rich. All right? Love y'all. Peace.